Hello. And welcome everyone to a new Ultimania. Today we will be doing the full Ultimania. We'll be doing the full Ultimania. Of course, this will be split into two parts for when it's released on YouTube. But in the meantime, let's begin the game. Oh, I knew I forgot something. There is an explanation for that. There we go. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I was taking the opportunity to record footage for off-screen Mega Man Legends shenanigans. So, that's why that was that. Oh, Roshan.
Hello.
Welcome to Phase 1. We have one kitty for Phase 1. And it's Game Cobra.
Green kitty.
So let's begin the shuffle. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 1. Battle between two former champions to start off with. It's going to be Vully versus Scott the Odd. If you don't mind, I am going to be muting myself a little bit because I am eating lunch right now.
Okay, no problem.
2, 1, go!
And surprisingly, Kazuya's doing very well.
That was a very quick comeback to make things even. Let me go ahead and load up the stream for you, Roshan.
Yep.
There you go.
Let's see, yeah. Yeah. I'm still I think Kazuya's gonna win. As much as I rooting for one DDD.
Kazuya keeps on whiffing on those final smashes. So
Yeah.
big smash ball in play. DDD barely survived that.
DDD needs to die.
Oh, DDD got a Max Tomato. Just needs to stall Kazuya long enough to reach sudden death. And that'll do it.
One, time.
Yeah.
Sudden death, go! Game.
Oh, and with an up attack, Kazuya does it. Winner is Scott the Yacht.
Kazuya Mishima wins.
Scott the Yacht will be battling off against the winner between Icicle T and Game Cobra.
Read
3, 2, 1, go!
It's gay.
Game Cobra has Final Smash. And goes after the wrong Ice Climber.
Oh no. Kitty, no.
It is a very kiddie thing to do, being distracted like that. Another very kiddie thing to do is bap someone really hard.
Yeah.
Look out, it's Revolver Oshawott. And Game Cobra got a life back. Believe it or not, that final smash actually saved. That final smash saved Incineroar there. because otherwise Incineroar would have dove into the pit there. But instead Incineroar dove into the Ice Climber's final smash, thus giving him another jump opportunity. Game Cobra summoned Guile from Street Fighter, and Incineroar was able to knock away one of the Ice Climbers, but not the one that matters.
That was nothing.
Super Spicy Curry. Oh, nice job hitting the final smash, but I doubt it'll do very much since Ice Climbers is at 0% at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Getting that stopwatch is a big help. There is a bomb chew in play. That's it. Winner is Game Cobra.
Incineroar wins.
Right now, it's Sachi versus an Angry Rabbit.
Hmm.
Three, two, one, go!
It's Evic. Oh, hey.
Hey,
Hello. Hope you like Doggo.
Nintendo. You don't hear the audio on your stream on Discord.
The game
Yeah,
capture
I know.
audio is fine.
I'm not watching Discord because my Wi-Fi tends like that here at the.
Are you hearing the audio on Twitch?
I'll go check. Oh yeah, sounds fine on Twitch.
Yeah.
And you're
Must be on
saying
mine.
it's not on Discord?
Yeah,
Um,
weird.
It's possible that
Oh, I wonder.
I think it
Never
might
mind.
be. I was about to say I think it
100%
might be a
on-
thing on your end.
It was. My bad.
Okay, we got.
Also, kid, I responded to your thing when you have time.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I had to do some errands this morning. We got a
problem.
lot of snow last night. Like a lot more than the weather people predicted. They're like, oh, a little storm will clip us. 3 feet of snow later.
We finally got snow here in Chicago too. It had been pretty minimal for a while, but we got a decent.
I'm gonna say we've never gotten snow here. If we had gotten snow, it was only like a light mix.
Yeah, you guys are freezing rain's more common in a lot of Washington, from what I recall.
You're in East Washington, right?
West.
Oh, you're in West. I thought it did snow in West Washington.
Yeah, but like I said, it was like a snow and rain mix. Most of the time, it snows. It's mostly in the mountains.
My dad's from Spokane. And they usually got very little in the way of snow, but they did get freezing rain fairly often.
Yeah, freezing rain can't happen. It's just, it's not cold enough where to reach that point because we're in an El Nino year.
Ah,
Yep. We are.
yeah, it's been a fairly dry year, which is wild because last year was probably the most intense winter we've had in Utah for ages.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that one. If I recall correctly, I think that there was a day where it did rain, where it did snow, and we had to take a day off of work. So that means an extra day, snow makeup day had to be used.
Well, because the other problem is in Washington, like a lot of places that don't often have snow, you guys don't have the infrastructure to deal with it if you do get a lot of snow. Like in Utah, we've got like fleets of snowplows. You know, we can mobilize anytime.
I mean, in the West Coast, it gets so if you're ever up there. Actually, I don't. But in LA, there'll be beaches a few miles. There'll be a whole bunch.
I think you're
Cutting out pretty bad.
You're cutting out.
Yeah, you're cutting out pretty bad.
Ew, it's probably my audio setting. Give me a sec.
Yeah, I understand because you were having issues with stuff in the background, so I think you made your
And mic
I try to make
sensitivities
it
are
less.
just
I try to make it less
annoying.
good so you can't hear what I'm doing.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that
much-
is a problem where it gets to the point where you can't hear where you're cutting out because it's
Yeah.
not sensitive enough.
Yeah.
One thing that's cool is they are developing better AI-driven noise filters. I saw a tech demo of one, where a guy was talking on a headset, and this other person came up with like a hairdryer, like a really loud hairdryer, and blew it like right near the microphone. And you couldn't hear the guy talk; you could just hear the dryer. And then they turned the AI thing on, and suddenly you could hear the guy's voice really clearly, and nothing else.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, but honestly, I'm honestly not trusting that because that could easily just be edited.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things that I'd have to see live for sure.
And Sachi advances.
Kiora is with me.
Oop, hang on, dropped a thing. Right back.
Oh. Oops.
It'll be me versus Sachi in the next round. But for right now, it's Tala versus Haggis.
Three, two, one, go!
Luigi.
In Wii Sports Resort.
I am a Luigi enjoyer.
Yeah. After all, you were Melee. You were the first ever Melee Mania champion with Luigi.
Yes. That is a true statement.
Luigi taking a big hit from the Super Scope. That's a double kill because of the fake Smash Ball. Fox has the final smash. But Luigi has a filled up meter. Oh, Cap'n saved Luigi trying to kidnap him. Otherwise, he would have gotten hit by Fox's final smash.
Interesting.
Fox has some of that super spicy curry.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that.
Ah, look at that delicious defunct technology playing.
Oh yeah, so I was going to tell you this. You're right to be skeptical of tech demos. I was watching a thing that basically proving pretty much beyond the shadow of a doubt, and then it's actually been corroborated from external sources now, so it's even more ironclad, that Elon Musk's, well, not Musk's specifically, but Tesla's robot demo was basically completely faked. And edited.
Ew.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. Like, the analysis was... He pointed out some pretty glaring stuff.
Oh, Luigi was barely
Ooh.
able to stop Haggis from getting an extra life.
Good job, Luigi.
I feel bad for Elon Musk's staff.
I do too. I think that, like, a lot of them really are hardworking engineers and workers that I don't think deserve the... Because the problem is the company's value is entirely speculative, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like, he has to keep up the hype of, like... I mean, that's why he keeps saying, oh yeah, we'll have full self-driving next year, and he's been saying that for, like, 6 years.
Welcome to another episode of Super Smash Gladiators, where we enter the joust, where you try to smack the other person with a bopping stick.
Oh, dude, Grizz and I played so much Wii Sports back when he was a kid.
Yeah. Same for me, but with my brother.
We liked all of them, but I think my family's favorite was bowling because it was one that even my parents could get in on. And it was really funny because at the time I had a cockatiel in my room. And the cockatiel, for whatever reason, loved it when we played Wii Sports. He'd be like the cheering section. Funny little guy.
Did he ever
cute.
get? Did he ever get the end up getting the thing where he would be cheering? Like he would sound like the Wii Sports announcer or something like that.
Well, he kind of so cockatiels don't often they don't mimic like voices, but they have kind of like whistles that they'll kind of mimic stuff with. And so he had like a woo whistle that he would do.
Oh boy.
Some cockatiels can learn words, but it's usually pretty basic and like I've seen cockatiels learn like peekaboo, but
Yeah,
a
I've
lot of
seen
times
tons
it's just
videos of
whistly.
that.
A lot of times it's more whistly.
Oh, Haggis summoned a tall Executor.
Long boy, I choose you.
But it looks like this is gonna be it.
You know, Grizz was good, but the problem was when he was really little, the kid was a heat-seeking missile. Like, I remember when we first were trying out boxing, I was standing behind him to try and help him use the controls. He was pretty little, and he was figuring it out, and he was getting way into it. And his dad walks in, and he goes, "Hey guys, what are you doing?" And he goes, "Boxing!" And he turns around and just punches me right in the crotch. Like, I swear, that kid could dean you from a mile away if he wanted to. Ugh.
Right
Good
now,
shot.
Circle
Oh,
Pad
my.
versus Kit.
Oh.
Can't I did anything like that when I was a kid.
Come on, fin plant.
3, 2,
I feel like I was better behaved as a kid than I am now, honestly.
You know, it's funny. I think that I think with Grizz, he never did any of these things. He didn't do it intentionally. He just was really good at He just would get really into stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I still remember, like, it was Halloween, and he had to have been like maybe 1.
I'll be
He was
right back.
really little, and it was Halloween, and he actually, like, he was still in a playpen. That's how little he was. And I was blasting "Dead Man's Party" by Oingo Boingo. It's a song I really like that time of the year.
Boingo boingo.
That's a good band. It's Danny Elfman's band, actually.
I just hear oingo boingo and I want to laugh. I'm sorry.
It's a good name. It's a great name. But I remember I was blasting that music, and I look over, and he's propped himself up on his playpen, and he's just dancing. He's just like shaking back and forth. He's bobbing his head. He's getting really into it. He's
I'm back.
moving left and right. He's shuffling. He just gets into stuff. It's cute.
Yeah, a friend of ours is getting the mail. Hold on.
That is silly.
Yeah. He's always been really into music. I think that's something you and he would find interesting commonality in. In fact, one of the things he's been thinking about career-wise is audio engineering.
Hmm.
He's one of those kids that's like smart enough to do anything. He's just not 100% sure what he actually wants to do. He's not really into like the whole formal schooling thing potentially. So,
Hmm.
which I don't blame him. Sometimes, depending on what you choose for a degree, college can be a diminishing return. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just very dependent on what you want to go into.
Oh wait, Kit, you're up right now.
Huh?
You're up right now.
Yes, I am the plant.
Imagine being a.
No, Genesect, why? I was always nice to you, wasn't I?
I'm so excited for the trip. This is my first time, like, actually being there for a patch goal, so I'm excited for the 14 trailer.
Oh yeah, yeah, no, that'll be good. I think I will abstain just because I'm still.
Yeah, you're early on still.
Yeah. Eh.
I understand.
Joker's being mean. Zero, being mean. He's very
Chris
mean.
being mean?
Ah ha ha!
He was mean, but he was nice enough to
Joker.
give you an extra life.
Yeah, never mind. Okay. Bitching and
But then
moaning was
again-
such an effective tactic. No!
Then again, decided, you know what? I gave you the extra life. I'm gonna blast you with the dragoon.
He giveth and he taketh.
Sure. You pissed
Another-
me the hell off. I was doing so well. You're better. Usually my piranha's pretty solid. It's not doing so hot this time. There you go. No, other way, PD. No.
Oh, that. Oh, PD Piranha just whiffed that.
Oh man, that was rough.
Oof.
That was nothing.
Darn it, Guile, you're supposed to
never-
attack the other guy, not the sandbag.
You know, I remember the PD Piranha fight in Sunshine being really. There was a PD Piranha fight. I think it was the one that I found really
It was like the first boss fight, I think.
Yeah, no, but I remember you fight him multiple times, but I remember finding the second time annoying. But it was a while ago.
Sunshine had some really wild boss fights. I still remember the one that I thought was like just frankly gross
Oh,
was the
Joker whipped
the gooper blooper.
Yeah.
Mm. Oh, the one where you like cut off the.
Yeah, you like yank off his tentacles and then like pull his lips to smack him with or something. It's very
Yeah, I
very
remember
weird.
that.
Very
I
weird.
guess, yeah, I guess those boss fights are really bizarre, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, you're ripping off a monster's limbs and smacking him with it.
I guess I was too little to really register it at the time.
Come on, you stupid plant, you got this. There you go.
I was still baby, so I didn't recognize it.
There you go. 2-2, and it's 5 seconds
Okay,
left.
hang on to sudden death. Just hang on. You got this, man.
Time.
Spike ball, it's your sudden death best friend, I promise. Oh no!
Got hit
I
by
gave him bad
Joker's
advice.
darkness spell.
I gave him bad advice.
Unfortunate.
The winner is
Oh.
Joker. Circle pad advances.
Kit is gone. Kit has been launched into space. Unfortunate
been-
for him.
Kit has been.
Intri-
Kit's heart has been changed by the Phantom Thieves.
He decided he needed to plant piranhas on the moon.
Now it's Twink versus Han. Twink versus Han.
Han? Not sure I know this. Is this a new person, or am I just a little out of the loop again?
One. Go.
Entry list. Curious how it's spelled.
If you look at general, I put down the results
Yeah,
of
I
the battle.
see. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's who that is. I remember now. I was
The
yeah,
Pink Demon versus the champion of Hyrule.
duh. That's great. pink demon.
The pink demon. It's not wrong.
No, I mean there's the whole the whole implication is that Kirby is dark matter but positively charged.
What?
Like he's the same as Zero Two. Dark matter, not like literal dark matter, but the entity dark matter from Kirby. Like you encounter it several times in the form of Zero and Zero Two. And it's basically
final bosses in Kirby's Dreamland. I think it was like Kirby's Dreamland and Kirby 64 respectively.
Yeah. And so like there's the theory is, it's pretty well substantiated, but it's still kind of a theory, I guess, is that he's dark matter, which is sort of this like limitless, like boundless potential stuff, but positively charged rather than destructive.
Okay.
Yeah, because if I recall correctly, and one of the ideas is that from the Kirby TV show, is that Kirby was supposed that it was either Kirby or Meta Knight was supposed to be a no, it wasn't Meta Knight. It was the first Dream Warrior that was created to serve Nightmare, and then betrayed him to become one of the Star Warriors. To create the Star Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Or like Nightmare Enterprises from.
Just go ahead.
From Kirby, right back at you.
Just go through. Well, because Kirby and Meta Knight are the same species, whatever they are. Whenever you cut his mask off, you can see that he's just basically the same thing as Kirby.
Yeah, he's a blue. Yeah, he's basically a blue Pluto Kirby.
Yeah.
With Antonio Banderas' voice.
I know. I actually like, for all the weird choices they made in that cartoon, I kind of dug that one.
Yeah, same. Just like when it came to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pegasus. Where
yeah, actually,
that's the only good. I think that's the only good choice that they made for no, not the only good choice. The only choice that they made that was one-to-one. That was the only choice that they made that was like a one-to-one of the manga.
Yeah, it was because the show diverged very heavily from the manga, if I recall.
Oh yeah. Well, the manga that it was based on was called Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. Which
because Yu-Gi-Oh! Did a bunch of stuff prior to that, like he did like those little games of like Retribution and stuff.
Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! The Shadow Games are also known as Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 0. But also it was its own manga series as well. Before that.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with it. I'm casually familiar, but I do remember hearing about. I do remember reading some of it and it being quite different.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like for example, the first battle between the battles between Yugi and Kaiba the battles between Yugi and Kaiba in the manga and in the show were like before the whole Blue Eyes thing was the thing that gave Kaiba the initial idea to use holograms as a duplication of Yugi's punishment game stuff.
Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't know that. That's a nice little detail.
Yeah, that was it. Kaiba was basically duplicating that.
I think it's really interesting that like for the anime they focused on the Duel Monsters aspect before they even got into like any of the Pharaoh. Like, don't even explain the Pharaoh stuff for like a while.
Yeah, that's because originally the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series was supposed to be horror. It was supposed to be a horror series. Oh, we're going to sudden death.
Okay. Oh.
Winner is Twink.
It's too bad. I thought Kerbo was owning it for most of the game. That was quite a turnaround.
Yep. The winner is Twink.
The champion of Hyrule has slayed the pink demon.
And Tlink will be facing off against LP next. But right now, it's Dracar versus Stormy Aura. But yeah, back to what I was saying. But then the episode between Yugi and... But then the manga pages involving Yugi and Kaiba came out. And everyone was wondering, like, oh... And a bunch of fans were going like, oh, how does this game play? That looks really interesting. Because originally wasn't supposed to be... Because originally, that version of Duel Monsters is not actually Duel Monsters. I think it's called, like, Wizards and Monsters, I believe. Where it plays actually a lot like... what's the best way to describe it? It actually plays a lot like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses.
Mm-hmm.
Where you use the cards as... where you use the cards as, like, chess pieces and stuff. Or
oh, interesting.
It's in a wider array, and you use the fields that you're on to power up the monsters and all that.
Dang, good shot, you two. That was a good combo.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of hard to avoid a side shock. Kind of hard to avoid a side shock when you're being chased by a Rathalos.
Yeah, when Rathalos is basically chewing on your face.
Yeah. Oh, and Ness missed his chance to get the S flag, because with the Alolan Executor, there was no chance for Mewtwo to get around him in time.
Yeah, he would have had to teleport, and that wouldn't have happened quick enough. Yeah. You know, I actually had, speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh's holograms and stuff. There was a project I wanted to build back in college that I never got around to. It's probably be even easier nowadays. I wanted to build a gaming table, like a touchscreen gaming table that used like light projection underneath the surface, and so you could put your cards for like Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh or whatever in sleeves, and then you can put little like sort of similar to QR codes, but a little bit more simplified. You can put little tags on them, and then when you lay it down, the table would know what the card is, and it'll know what you're doing. So it could like help manage your games and visualize things.
I was thinking like for cards like Yu-Gi-Oh, they have the codes, or you can even just use the pictures.
Yeah, because if it's optical detection's gone even further nowadays. So now you probably wouldn't even need tags. Yeah, you could probably just go with pure optical detection.
Yeah, and most of the time the cards are placed face down, so that you can just they can scan them at that point.
You could even have like a registration area where you tap it down so it registers it, and then when you set it down, it just keeps track of wherever that rectangle is. It knows what it is already.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's flip faced up, it knows that it's in. When it's flip face up on one side, the optical detection would know that it's in attack position or defense position, stuff like that.
Yeah, so it could probably be you probably do way more nowadays. Just with image detections come so far, it's really impressive. Like you can even do that with like home installations of like some of the language models or detection models. You can like send it an image and be like, hey, what's this? And it'll be like, oh, that's a monkey in a pink hat or whatever. It's really wild.
Look out, it's Sandy Claus.
You know, the wildest thing is that like one of the first things I did when I was experimenting with, so it was around the time I was first starting to experiment with language models, because my boss was like, hey, we'll give you a bonus if you can get this running on our servers, so we don't need to use APIs that charge for quotas. So I was experimenting with a lot of it on my local installation, and one of the things I ended up doing was testing, it's called multimodal, where you can send it text and an image and have it resolve the prompt.
Multimodal reflection sorting.
I don't know why we're obsessed with acronyms and overcomplicating things in computer science.
I'm sorry, I heard that in like a sci-fi thing a while ago.
But basically the gist of it was I created a sardonic, judgmental chatbot that would judge you based on the art you sent it. And it was actually really funny. Some of the things it said were rather biting. When you get an uncensored model and you tell it to roast you, it will not hold back.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time.
Going to
Ooh,
sudden
sudden
death.
death. He would have had it, I think.
Go.
Just a second longer, I think Mewtwo would have had it. Uh-oh. Ooh.
That's it.
Nah.
Nice use of down smash.
YouTube wins.
Mewtwo has advanced.
And Roshan, you'll probably understand the math behind like traversing neural nets better than I did. Like I get it in broad strokes, but you'll probably get the mechanics of it considerably better.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's time. The current champion versus Tico.
Oh no. Save us, Tico.
All right, I forgot you're
1. Go.
not a huge fan of Villager, are you?
Villager gives me the creeps.
You are not a Villager.
I guess I'm just too much city folk.
Too many city folks. By the way, if there's one thing I kind of want to have everyone watch, it's the because they actually did make a Animal Crossing anime. That's like very basic. I think it's like a two episode OVA.
It sounds like it could be cute.
Or one episode OVA, yeah. Where you play as the villager girl, and she's like, "Hi, I'm I." Like, and then you meet Villager Boy later in a ninja outfit, and his name is Yu.
This was Priyanka and Isabel, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So those are the two characters that I think are the most. Well, Tom Nook's pretty famous, actually. I gotta give him.
Yeah, Tom Nook, the gangster. As don't get me wrong. Now thinking about it, it does make Tom Nook's business model is a little better than most gangsters, but you're just immediately asked to work for him after getting a loan you have no control over.
Yeah, I mean, he gives you decent terms, but it still is what it is.
Yeah. Oh, Villager got the laser cannon.
Oh no. Tico, this isn't how you save us. This is a sweet man. Yeah, I could be cute. Yoshi, why did you do that?
Why did you do that, Yoshi?
Why on earth?
Maybe
Oh, I
it has
forgot Yoshi.
presents on the inside.
Yoshi can't read. Flammable. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna shoot it.
That means flammable.
Dynamite.
Inflammable. That means that it can't catch fire, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Totes my goats.
It's perfect
Why
dinosaur
do you
reasoning.
use that? What is that phrase? Let's go. I've never heard that.
What?
You
I've
use
heard
that
it. I've heard it here and there.
Oh,
Like totally.
whoops, it's not. Whoops, sorry, it's not Tico. It's Izor. Sorry.
Oh yeah, Tico's pink. I forgot. I forgot to. Izar is a former champ, isn't he?
I believe so.
I can take a look.
I can't. I mean, I guess it's on regional thing. Not that way. You know, like sick. Although I think other places in the U.S. now use that too.
Although, I gotta say one thing that's wild is Gen Z and Alpha or whatever they're calling the next one. You guys are good at making up slang like no one's business. Like
I
seriously.
mean, I'm not picking it up. I don't really use it.
Okay,
I'm
let's
just saying,
see.
I'm hearing all kinds of crazy, interesting phrases
he
all the
is.
time.
Yes, Izuar is a former champion.
Okay, that's what I thought. Like I heard another Gen Z phrase the other day that I hadn't heard before that I liked. It's zesty, and it's specifically the slang zest is referring to someone who they may not be gay, but they're extremely attractive to the other sex. They've got sort of the zesty energy, apparently.
I was gonna say, anytime I think of zest, I just think of food.
Yeah, me too. But apparently that's a new slang
Well, to
name
be
for it. So
well, to be fair,
I hadn't that.
well, to be fair, that term would apply if someone looks delicious.
well, it's the same thing. From what I understand, it's just basically what they used to call metrosexual.
Aha.
Metrosexual?
Yeah, that was a thing in like the 90s and early odds. It's basically someone who they're hetero, but they've got like gay energy.
I
Oh, Izuar whiffed.
Oh, that was
But
rough. I thought he had
But the star launcher's in play.
the thing is evil. Oh wait, maybe not. Maybe it's good this time.
It is very anti-villager.
But unfortunately, I don't think that'll matter very much.
Damn it.
Time.
Kit is not a villager fan.
Wins.
Winner is Deary the Deer.
Well, CC said he was maybe going to come, but apparently his voice is pretty bad and he's coughing a lot, so he wasn't sure.
Yeah, I know
He's
Yeah,
been pretty sick.
Yeah, if I was gonna say, Brave is welcome to join if they want to, but if they feel like they're still feeling sick, just take the opportunity to rest.
Yeah, that's important.
Now it's time for Gabe versus Deviant's Curse.
That's something I had to learn when I started having chronic illness. Was like if your body is saying it needs rest, you really shouldn't argue with it because it's doing it for a reason. When you're not kind of sick. Because I'm one of those people, that starts to, I don't know, I get really agitated if I'm not doing like something that I feel is
Yeah.
worthwhile. I get agitated easily with that sort of thing.
Oh, that looks like a lot nicer looking version of Farside.
Warside was a trip, and Mother, the color palette still like sears my eyes.
Yeah. Now it just looks straight up like Manhattan.
It's like Gotham City in the 90s Batman animated series now.
Yeah. I was gonna say if you want to go for the 2000s version, you just need to color the sky green. In the Batman.
I didn't care for that one. I mean, it wasn't like the worst, but I did not care for that quite as much.
It's understandable. By
Like
the way, I'm now just waiting for Deviant to pop up in the chat room to do the meme.
Anytime now.
Yep, anytime now.
Let's do it in Batman's voice. Sam's doing this. But I don't know. I mean, I know people are often biased to the things they grew up with, but I genuinely think that series still holds up, the original animated series.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The what?
The
Series?
Batman animated series. It's so good. From the
I've not
90s.
watched that.
If you like Batman at all, which I don't know if you do or not, but
I don't.
I would strongly recommend that one. It's got some amazing storytelling, surprisingly dark and like emotional.
I mean, Batman. It's,
Mark Hamill's the Joker. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
when is Batman?
Who is Batman? Did you say?
When is it?
I said, when is Batman?
Oh, when is Batman not dark? Oh, okay, fair point. I guess Adam West, maybe? I don't know.
Adam West. It's like some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Good thing I brought my bat shark repellent.
now I'm remembering the Simpsons spoof of that, saying, yeah, like, no way I would have lost if it wasn't for my carousel reversal spray, and the Joker version, which is just Krusty the Clown. But like, what don't you have in that belt? Saying like, patience for criminals like you.
Yeah, that was a very silly show. I didn't watch it all the time, but I do remember a few of the classic Batman. You want something wild? My mom knew the woman who played Catwoman. Well, one of them in the original show.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that weird? A small world.
I wish Catwoman was an actual Catwoman.
Ooh, you'd like one of the episodes of the animated series then. They actually make Catwoman a Catwoman.
Like a proper Catwoman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like full anthro. Fortunately, it's like an Island of Dr. Moreau situation, and she ends up rejecting it, which, you know, lame call.
Imagine rejecting Kitty.
I guess she didn't want to be like, I don't want to be like unable to go back to human society at all or whatever, but like still, come on, you're a cat. It's awesome.
Yeah, and with that kind of technology is shown later, because splicing does become a big thing in Batman Beyond.
Yeah, I remember that being a pretty interesting, like giving people different traits, and yeah, I remember that being an interesting plot line.
Mm-hmm.
Like for example, the Jokers in the because there is a whole gang of people who effectively worship the Joker.
Yeah, I think they're just called the Jokers, I think, if I recall.
Yeah. And in the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker movie, they actually have a gene spliced hyena man.
Oh, I do. Yes, I remember her. I like the hyena chick.
I honestly can't call whether or not they're male or female though.
I'm almost I would put money down that she's a lady, because I think I remembered seeing they show her pre-spliced or something. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, like.
I could be wrong. But she's awesome. I forgot. I like the hyena lady, or whoever. I would bet. I'm almost positive. But I don't know.
Sudden death.
Okay. Oh. Yep. Don't attack Lucina from above.
Yeah. Who says the high ground is always... Who says you always win if you take the high ground?
Well, this game is the particular one that isn't as favorable to the high ground as others.
Right, Anakin and Obi-Wan never played Smash, I guess.
If they did, they might have... If they did, then Obi-Wan might have won that one.
Or not Obi-Wan.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Oh, right. But then again, it would have been a good idea for
Obi-Wan
Anakin
did
to
win.
Oh, well. Well, I meant in the long run. Skip the battle? No, of course not, because it's a battle between two more former champions, and Scott the Odd versus Game Cobra.
Ooh. Salad Cat versus the dreaded Kazuya.
The stupid Kazuya. I hate Kazuya.
You know what's another... what's another game I've got to get? Is the Metroid Prime remake. So this level's from.
Yeah, the original Metroid. I have the original Metroid Prime for GameCube.
Yeah, I think I have the original myself, but the remake, everyone who I tend to agree with on games is saying that the big difference is the controls. It just controls so much better.
What are you talking about?
Not that the originals were bad, but apparently they really tightened that up.
Sorry, which game are you talking about?
Metroid
Prime.
Ew.
That's what this level's from. Parasite Queen in the background.
My Kitty Queen is better. My Kitty Queen is better.
Well, that goes without saying.
Yeah, it's not a contest. You want to see something really funny? Let's see if I can find it. There's somebody I know in another server who, yeah, their OC is a Metroid.
Metroids are those
like a Metroid King.
those like alien guys.
Are jellyfish, are basically jellyfish-looking things that latch on you and drain your life force.
Yeah, those things. I know those things.
Yeah, so it's a big
I'm
alien.
not
But
played Metroid, but I do know those things.
yeah, it's a phase-on Metroid. I'm gonna put in voice text how he emotes because it cracks me up.
Why is the series named after those enemies specifically?
Because I
They're
think
very
it is
dangerous.
stated because they're the big alien threat, just like how you name how you named like the Thing and Clive Barker's Aliens as aliens.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it's also
Yeah.
stated that later on they mentioned that Metroid is the Chozo word for warrior. So they make so the idea is like Samus could also be called Metroid, but that was an idea they made up later.
Yeah, the Metroids originally because they also brought in the idea that the Metroids ended up. At first, you don't know why they were created. Like you just know they're really, really dangerous and they could spread, and that Mother Brain and the Space Pirates are planning on using them to basically conquer civilization.
Yeah.
And then Samus goes to their homeworld SR-388 to exterminate them, completely. But there's one left behind, like a larva, that thinks that Samus is her mom, the baby. And so she delivers it to a research station, and they find out that it's got all these energy-producing properties. But then they expand it even more later, basically saying that the Metroids were created to control a species called the X-Parasite. So the lore is definitely expansive as they go.
Yeah, because the X-Parasite is basically the Metroid's version of the Thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the only organisms that could handle it was Metroids.
Because they were made specifically, they were created specifically to be the X's mortal enemy.
Just natural predators, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I posted in voice text how they emote. It cracks me up because the King Metroids have like a bunch of eyes. It's funny. They do all their emotes like that. It's cute.
Yeah, because we know of the Queen Metroid from Metroid 2: Return of Samus and the recent Metroid 2 Samus Returns.
Yeah.
I see Kitty is winning. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Yeah.
Now they're tied.
Now they're tied though. But I still think he's doing pretty well.
Come on, Kitty.
Oh.
Oh, you get clotheslined into a Nova Bomb and then get spiked into the ground.
That was impressive. Good job, Kitty.
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh, the humanity.
That flip screwed him over completely.
Oh, I thought he whiffed the recovery.
Nope.
Oh, he did!
He did whiff it. The winner is Game
Kitty!
Cobra.
Dang.
Kazuya's gone, Kitty victory. El Kazuya victory for Kitty.
I originally was not the biggest Metroid fan when I received the Metroid 2 on the Game Boy. But after getting Super Metroid, that very much pivoted my perspective on it.
Oh yeah,
and I've come to appreciate Metroid 2, even though it's definitely one of the weaker entries. I've come to appreciate it a little more.
Yeah, if Metroid 2, if Metroid 2 is your first introduction to it, then, or even the original Metroid is your first introduction to it, I don't blame you for having misgivings at first.
Yeah, because I was a big Game Boy kid. Like that was probably my number one console was the Game Boy. Like we had,
Game Boy?
our family had some game consoles, but I think my Game Boy was what I used the most, just because.
It's Sachi versus me.
It was one of the few
For me,
things I
it
had to
was-
myself. Like it wasn't. I didn't have to share it with my brother. You know.
Makes sense. For me, it was the Wii when I was a kid.
Yeah, the Wii.
and
The Wii
DS.
is pretty much what defined Grizz's childhood, game-wise.
Well, we are the generation.
Yeah, you guys are pretty close in age.
Yeah, I had the.
Oh, I love this music.
Yeah, I had the original Game Boy a long time ago playing Pokemon. I think it was like Blue on it. Pokemon Blue, I think it was like Mega Man 1 and like Mario Land and Mario Land 2.
Yeah, dude, Mario Land, that was fun. Mario Land 2 especially, I thought was really fun.
Oh yeah, because I think that was made after Super Mario World, so they tried to use late stage Game Boy to make Game Boy Advance to do Super Mario World character design.
Yeah, no, it was good, and I thought the power-ups were fun. I thought the setting was nice. It's one of the only games where you actually get to fight Wario as the villain.
Yep.
Wow.
Wario get an entire castle into that one.
No, Wario stole Mario's castle.
Yeah.
Because apparently after all the time saving Princess Peach gives him an entire island.
How you say Wario steal the castle? No, Mario just wasn't using it. Wario just wanted to help out. Wario just helping. Wario's a good guy.
Yeah, one of the things that I do find hilarious is one of the things I do find hilarious is the whole thing regarding one of the stages is Mario is like the toy house, and it's basically a giant Mario robot you're playing.
Yeah, Necro Zone or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I think the space levels were super fun too.
Yeah. And one big location is like you go to a secret area is like in Mario's groin area, and it's a stage full of balls.
And then there's Pumpkin Zone, which is really cool because it's all like haunted house stuff.
Where you fight yokai, yeah.
It's a good game. It has a lot of character. The other thing was it also had a sequel, which was the original Wario Land, which was Wario Land, which Super Mario Land 3 was what it was subtitled, I think. And that one I think I must have played that one a bunch of times because I first got it on a road trip. So naturally, on a road trip you have time to play the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of my family's longest road trips, actually.
I think we've only done one major road trip, and that was in 2020 during the pandemic.
My family's a big fan of that. Probably just because a lot of like. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I think the mic is making it hard to know when you're starting and stopping. Sorry.
Oh, still doing that.
Just at the edges. I'm sorry.
I'm not doing anything super loud right now, so I'm just going to turn on.
Yeah,
I'm just going to turn on auto setting, and hopefully it doesn't echo or anything.
Yeah, it's just the very beginning or the end of sentences. Sometimes it drops just a little. So I didn't mean to cut you off.
Mm-hmm. No problem. It's just a stupid ass mic being annoying.
But yeah, my family, we're big into road trips. I think part of it is like part of it's the country. Part of the country we live in. There's a lot of really scenic stuff to drive through. Like I've been all over southern Utah.
Well, I guess we do drive up and down California a lot, if you consider that a major road trip. Because I think of a major road trip as like several days, not just, around one state.
Yeah. Well, because we've driven through southern Utah, we've driven through Yellowstone, and actually stayed in like Jackson Hole for a while. That was pretty cool. One of my favorite trips was Mount Rushmore, because Grizz came with us, and it was actually really funny because we enjoyed a lot of the outdoorsy stuff during the day, and then at night he and I shared a hotel room, and Super Mario Maker 2 was brand new for the Switch, so we were screwing around with that in the hotel room and just playing the most ridiculous things.
I advanced to the next round. Sorry, Sachi.
Wait, I totally need to get Super Mario Maker 2. I've been wanting to get that, and I forgot about it.
Game.
That now that I have the money to buy it,
I recommend it if you like making stuff and screwing around and having like endless, like if you play the endless Mario challenge, you can just get random levels, and some of them are obviously trash, but some are amazing.
I'm missing 2D Mario to play now that I've finished Wonder.
Yeah, Wonder's on my list. Why does it default to yes skip the battle? That's so dumb.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because most people do skip it.
I guess if you're doing attorneys and the AI is like gap filling and not actual people, then maybe yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I hate this stage.
Oh, and they're using the music I love for this level. This is Kraid's theme.
Yeah,
I love it.
I love the Kraid
Oh,
theme.
this
I hate
level.
the stage.
Yeah, the stage is really tricky.
The
Depending.
skinny level.
It
Yeah.
completely borks all AI.
Love will go wee.
Yeah. Turns out all you
Yeah,
need to
Kraid's
do
music
to
kicks
keep
ass.
The AI is spin. They just like the spin.
Although it's funny, I actually kind of feel bad for Kraid in Dread. He's in a rough spot.
Oh yeah, because you find Kraid and he's all chained up.
Yeah. Like I know
And
Kraid's
then
not a
if you
good
have-
guy, but
Oh my.
And then if you happen to have the morph ball at the time that you fight Kraid, you can shoot into his belly button and make him explode.
yeah, Kraid's having a rough time in Dread. He's not a good guy. I mean, he's a space gangster. He's a big dinosaur, but like still kind of feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. Commit.
Hey, I mean, it's not all bad. I think everybody looks better in a collar.
Of course you would.
Yeah, let's just say Jonas's drawing this morning kind of spoke to me. So
What did he draw?
it's in Haven Celestia's thing, the NSF.
Oh, right, that, right,
Yeah.
yes.
It spoke to me a little bit.
Is it the Haven Celestia server or the?
No, on Rix, the channel on Rix.
Okay.
He just did one of Goja and Rackham.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're a fun pair. I actually quite like them.
I actually haven't read Skin Change.
It's pretty good.
I don't know
I
why.
liked it.
Just thinking about it just didn't interest me. I don't know.
It had one scene that was a little much for me because it hit a very visceral thing I don't do well with, but in general, very good.
I don't know. Usually I love Rick stuff, but I don't know, that one. I mean, I didn't get that far into it, maybe to page 20-ish, but I don't know, it didn't capture me for some reason. Which is unusual for Rick's writing. I don't know.
I just think it was cool to see more of like Ringle Tech for
such
one
a-
thing.
You've been such an
Maybe.
inconvenience for me. Now you're going to do everything I say. Like, oh no.
I know. Oh, he's so distressed. Oh no, what will I do now? Oh no. Oh dear. A
Oh
predicament.
no, these are the wrong balloons. I will never forget. Let's never forget one of the worst movies ever made. Freaking Oogie Loves.
I
haven't
don't
heard of
know.
that.
I don't know about it. I know of it, but I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Just
than that.
look up Oogie Loves on Google. Then you will
Oh, God.
immediately know what I'm talking about.
Oh god, I don't know.
OOGIE Loves.
Yeah, it's like. Oh god, yeah, okay.
I'm curious.
That fish, man. Okay, I haven't seen it, but I have seen like many a reference.
So what's it called?
Oogie Loves.
Oogie loves.
Oogie Love?
Yes.
Yep.
How do you
At the
spell that?
time, it was considered one of the biggest box office bombs in history.
Okay, but how do you spell that?
OOGIE Loves.
OOGIE.
LOVES. Yes.
Oh?
It's
This looks like.
I know that it looks like a kids show type thing, but it's supposed to be a full-length movie.
What?
And it is beyond terrible.
Oh no, summon Dr. Wowie.
Yeah, Wily 7.
Dude, Wily, they picked a good capsule for summoning Wily because Wily
Oh
Capsule
my
7
god,
is
it
just
has 1.7 on IDM on IDM.
IMDb.
Yeah.
D is for Lystexia.
Oh, there was a 9. There was a
Ooh,
9.
yeah, I
Only
barely
hit.
missed.
Yeah, there was a time when we did an Ultimania and Game & Watch got 2 9-hammer hits in a row.
Wow.
Speaking of
Oh,
which,
there's one. Yep.
And this will make
death
it
it
sudden
is.
death.
Yeah, this level, the AI gets real confused. Oh, Ouija with the poltergust.
Yeah, Ouija with the plunger power. Ultimate plunger power. Now give me my Red Bull. Talagro.
I show you who's in charge, Mario.
Right now it's Circle Pad versus sorry, I keep forgetting the Alex Fox. It's Circle Pad versus Alex Fox. And Kit is muted right now.
Why is the kit muted?
Sorry, my mom called. I had to answer the phone.
No problem. Actually, no, it is the biggest problem in the world. There has never been a bigger problem.
I like what I
Sorry.
picked for. I like what I picked for my mom's ringtone. Okay, so we've been on this ongoing thing for years where she just had said there's like no good video game music. So I've been on like a quest to find video game music she likes, and I've actually
my
found a
God,
bunch that she does.
My mom is the same way.
I actually found some that she does. So her ringtone is one of the ones we found. It's actually the only video game she's ever beat me at. What it's from?
Which is?
Bust a Move.
Aha. Or
It's a
My
exactly yeah. Puzzle Bobble is what they call it in Japan.
My-
It's
my
the only
mom
game
does
she's ever
not
beaten
like
yet.
any of the music I like, basically.
Well, I think she just assumed that it was all bleepy bloopy, that like there wasn't like
Yeah.
even though it's been developing as much as anything over the years with like sound fonts and then full orchestration nowadays.
I think my mom is the same way, where she's still stuck in like the 80s, you know,
Yeah.
in terms of what she thinks
Yeah.
game music sounds like.
Mom's the same way because I remember a long time ago when I was playing the Super Nintendo in the front room, Mom would always say for me to just, okay, you can play your game, but you have to turn on the stereo. You have to turn on the stereo and turn on like one of the CDs we have. So anytime that I think of, so now I'm stuck with anybody. I think about freaking Pearl Jam anytime I play the. Anytime that I play Legend of play A Link to the Past dungeons, I think of Pearl Jam.
That's funny.
Speaking
Yeah, I
of
think-
Link to the Past, what is your guys' favorite Zelda game?
That's a good question. That's tricky. I think probably Ocarina. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. The new ones are really good, and there are some standout 2D ones as well. But I think Ocarina balances it all really well, and it was one of the. I don't know. I just think it's one like an almost perfectly told story.
I was gonna say mine.
I'm gonna
Mine would
admit,
likely.
I'm not the biggest fan of Ocarina. Like, I think it's a good game, but I've played through it like the entire thing several times because I do enjoy it. But I will not say it's the best Zelda.
You and I don't have the same. Our favorites aren't the same. Again, shocker.
I think games like
Unfortunately-
I actually think Twilight Princess and even maybe Skyward Sword. The Skyward Sword's a bit weird. That one is hard to rate.
I am
for
not.
me.
I am not a fan of Skyward Sword, honestly. Mostly because of the motion control gimmick.
Yeah, that's the one problem with Skyward Sword is the motion controls.
It had its moments. It had its
story
moments.
and puzzles are really good compared to other Zelda games, but
I also
the
got tired of the
combat is
tutorials.
rough.
Like it kept like forcing you into a lot of hand holding. It felt like.
I don't know. That didn't really bother me. I would, it's.
Yep. Speaking of, both of you that are playing that, if you've played Twilight Princess, I do have a question for you. Did you make a spare account to specifically designed so that when you play the game, you can skip the tutorial intro?
I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
The tutorial intro of Skyward Sword?
No, of Twilight Princess.
No, I didn't know that was a thing you could do.
Oh, right, the tutorial intro of Twilight Princess. Yeah. I didn't know. No, I did not.
Yeah, because all you have to do
I had.
is just play through the tutorial intro once, and then save, and then make a save, and then exit the game, make a copy of it anytime that you play. So then you can skip the tutorial.
Oh yeah, that would have been smart. That would have been.
Winner is Circle Pad.
Yeah, that would have been smarter for sure.
I'm gonna admit, the tutorials never bothered me that much as a kid, mainly because I needed them.
Oh,
well, sure. If you're new to it, sure.
Yeah, if you're new to
Twilight
it.
Princess, Twilight Princess was one of the first games I ever played. So
That's a great game.
Yeah, it is.
I'm a big fan of Midna, both character design and her story.
yes.
Yeah,
I'm betting you liked that, and you also turned into a wolf.
Yeah, maybe just a little.
I have the entire I have a ton of Legend of Zelda manga. That
To me, I thought that was just a gimmick of Link. And then I was surprised when he didn't do it in games after that.
You know what's funny is Twilight Princess is actually the only manga of Zelda I've actually read, so I actually probably have read some of the ones you have.
Okay, so because I was gonna say they only recently finished the English release.
The one I saw was translated. It was community translated.
You saw the fan translation, okay?
Yeah. So it wasn't. I'm sure it's more nuanced nowadays.
Yep. Oh, Squirtle has the got Victini, so that's even now.
But yeah, the wolf thing was fun. I really liked the wolf controls, but also just turning into a wolf is fun.
Yep.
But I've especially liked some of the art that's come of it. Like I've seen all manner of Feral Anthro Link stuff. Good stuff. But I do think gameplay wise it was also really fun. I just liked how it controlled.
Hello.
Oh hey Ren.
Hey Ren.
Yeah, to me, Twilight Princess is still the ideal Zelda game. It has its flaws, but I feel like they took yeah, sure, it is very similar to Ocarina of Time, but it also does it a lot better than Ocarina of Time.
I do agree with you there because I'm gonna be.
It's an iteration on the Ocarina of Time formula, and it just does it really well.
Yep.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The only difference that I think the only thing I think I would say that gives Ocarina and the only edge it would have, because I would agree it is definitely a superior iteration, but in a lot of especially mechanically. But I would say that I think Ocarina had. I think it felt more. I'm trying to figure out how to word this because it's kind of a. It felt more freeform in places, even though it's okay. So Ocarina had, it was the first Zelda game they had where it had a big contiguous world with a day and night cycle, and it really felt like a good big tangible world that you could explore kind of at your leisure. And I felt that Twilight Princess kind of locked things more than it needed to.
Yeah,
it had some pretty linear moments.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that they feel super different, though, at least as a kid. They felt pretty. Sure, it might not be locked, but there was rarely ever reason to go there.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that the exploration felt like a unique thing at the time with Ocarina. It felt like a valuable thing to be able to.
That's another
have
thing. That's the phrase again, though. At the time.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because nowadays, if you want to have a ton of exploration, there is, even though I disagree with it, I was about to say Skyward Sword, but it's not Skyward Sword. Freaking.
Skyward Sword is not a open.
Are you thinking like open world, like the new ones, Tears
Yeah.
of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, Breath of the Wild. Even though I very much disagree with how they did it, I'm not a fan of Skyward Sword, honestly. I am a fan of Skyward Sword. Not a work brain work. I am not a fan of Skyward Sword, and I am not a fan of.
Ouch.
I'm not a fan of like both of the new ones.
Really?
Because even though it is a big open world, the problem is though it's like I don't think there is enough in it to, in my opinion, justify it. You know what I mean? Like
I think I think it's a really good game, but I'm not sure it feels as much like a Zelda game, if that makes any sense. I think it's a good game. I think it's a great game.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. I feel more what Kid's saying. Because I think that I think it's mainly just that like it doesn't really have that great of puzzles or story, which kind of
Zelda's always been very heavy in that regard, you know.
yeah, which makes it feel kind of weird sometimes, you know.
LP wins.
Yep. Sorry,
It kind
Twink.
of
Back to the.
it kind of just does very different things. It's sort of like it's like the anti Twilight Princess in a way, where Twilight Princess had a had a focus
It was very
on
direct.
story and puzzles, and everything in that regard was incredibly good. Whereas Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom were more exploration based, and while that's still bad, and while it's still good, it came at the cost of a lot of things I would usually play Zelda games for. And while
Yeah.
I still really enjoyed them, I think I agree with Kid. Not reflecting back on it, it really did not feel like a. It didn't really feel like a Zelda game.
Do you have a favorite Zelda game, Ren?
I do not. We've never had like Nintendo stuff at my house ever.
Alright,
I've played, I
Nintendo's
think,
making
I
Makes it
played like
tricky.
one. I don't exactly remember actually which one it was, but like a few years ago, before COVID, my uncle had this old computer, and he emulated one of the older Zelda games on it. And he was like, "Yeah, knock yourself out." And then I played a bit of it, and then it was time to go home, so I didn't do much.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that depends on which. It depends on which one of the early Zelda games you got.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
no
even
such thing as a short Zelda game, so that's probably not the best exposure.
Controversial opinion. I do not like A Link to the Past.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I do not like it. I did not like it.
Interesting.
I played it pretty far in, and I just could not get into it. I like A Link Between Worlds, which was inspired by it.
Well, that's
Link to
because
the
it was.
Past,
That's
no.
because A Link Between Worlds, if I recall correctly, is a direct sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I thought that was good, but A Link to the Past, the original, no, I didn't like it. I didn't like the puzzles. I didn't like the game. I didn't really like how the game felt. And I've tried playing it multiple times, and my opinion has not changed.
I have it. I still have it on my list of games that I need to play, along with a few other Zelda games. Honestly, not all of them, because there's a lot. But
Some of the portable ones were kind of fun. I remember liking. So this is probably my controversial take, because I'm of two minds on this, but at the end of the day, I really like Link's Awakening,
Yeah, Link's Awakening.
even though it's really weird.
That's actually something I agree with you. That's like out of all the old Zelda games, that's the only one I enjoy like still playing, like more than just like respecting how it contributed to the franchise.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll
I
bitch about its
mentioned
issues, but I do like it a lot.
I think it had. I just like the puzzle. I like the feel of it. I like the puzzle in it. So for one, we agree on an opinion up when it comes to old games.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
Oh, we finally found one.
I really like that game too, especially the and I remember the manga version of that game where when Link figures out the truth of the island, he ends up going on a monster murder spree because he ends up going on a monster murder spree during his existential crisis.
Yeah.
When he realizes that the entire place is a dream and it will cause. And if he wakes the windfish, everybody he knows will disappear.
Yeah, it's dark. It's actually a fairly, for all its cutesiness, it is a fairly dark story. It's definitely got a somber ending for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's got issues. Like some of the dungeon decisions were perplexing. Some of the puzzles there are a couple of puzzles that I found really cryptic.
Yeah, that's true.
But
Well, I do like most of it. It has issues for sure.
Yeah,
but for the most part, yeah, I really enjoy it.
By the way, to anybody who is still watching the stream, this is a battle between Dracar and Wild Blue Fox.
Ooh, yes, my friend Crystal. But yeah, it's actually been a good fight. They're both doing a lot of back and forth. Oh no, Wily's back.
Ooh.
But I actually remember, I think it was around the time Tears of the Kingdom came out. Because I'm pretty sure Rukru was playing it. I actually was playing, because I was playing some of the. Oh. Dang, Dracar killed it.
Dracar advances the next round.
But I had decided I was going to replay some classic Zelda games at the time because I didn't have Tears of the Kingdom yet. Kick his ass, whichever fox this is.
It's Mortgage Lifter.
Oh, definitely kick his ass then. I wanted to win for 2. Oh, on Big Blue. Good grief. But I remember I was playing through Link's Awakening, the Switch remake. And because I had really bad insomnia at the time, I don't remember the exact context, but I remember it was like the middle of the night, and Arcadius and I started talking about it for like an hour, just about how like bizarre some of the puzzles and the choices were. Because, as I said, I'm playing one of my favorite Zelda games, but it still aggravates the hell out of me sometimes. And he said, "What's one of your favorites?" And I said, "It's Link's Awakening." He goes, "Well, that is sure a game of all time."
Yeah. Now, which version do you prefer, Link's Awakening or Link's Awakening DX, or the Switch?
DX, I thought added some fun stuff. I think DX was really good. I thought that was a solid remaster for the Game Boy Color. Actually, Super Mario Bros. DX was pretty fun too. Those were both pretty cool updates.
But yeah. So
I'm amazed the Game Boy had as long a life cycle as it did.
Yeah. Then had the Game Boy, and then there was the Game Boy, then the Game Boy Pocket, and then finally the Game Boy Color.
Yeah, and then the Game Boy Advance, I think, was a lot of people remember that one really fondly.
Yeah, if they could see the screen.
Oh yeah, the backlit one was definitely better when they got the SPs out. Actually, that was what's funny was that when my first job was working at GameStop, I think I might have mentioned, and one of my vivid memories was there was this kid who was going to buy a Game Boy Advance, and he was with his mom or his aunt or somebody like that, and his mom absolutely thought I was scamming them. Like, she just absolutely was just giving me the stink eye the whole time because I was saying that the backlighting was much better, and she's like, "Well, why don't you just get one of those little worm lights? They're way cheaper." And I was trying to explain to her the difference between like backlighting and like overhead lighting. Yeah. And she just was not, she just thought I was completely trying to like bait and switch or something.
Oh.
Because I did pretty well in sales for having like 0 training. They did not give me anything. They were
Not
terrible, actually.
Come on, not even one of those like hilariously bad movie things that a lot of people watch, like for like Game Freak.
Yeah, no, legit, they gave me nothing. Like I remember, like, because when I went there, I was originally like kind of gap filling. Like I was originally doing like stocking, and because it was the holidays, so they needed extra hands for all the logistical things because of the
Give
traffic.
you extra money for that.
Um,
Where were you going?
Oh, Fox, why? I was paid fairly decently for being a first job at like 16. But they gave me literally no training. I remember one day, my manager came up and he had a PSP, and he goes, "Hey, you know what this is?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's a PlayStation Portable." And he takes it, puts it on a lanyard, hangs it around my neck, and says, "Go sell this."
Wow, what a
It was literally, that was it.
Great training there.
In a way, I think it helped though, because I knew enough about it that I could just talk to people about it. And I think that people felt that I wasn't like putting on a salesman front. Yay! So I think it actually, in a way, made me a little bit better at it because I didn't have salesman vibes.
Yeah, that's a thing that I always found weird. Like in sales and in retail and stuff, I've often had much better results if I was just like talking to them like a person would talk to another person instead of like a corporate robot would talk to some person who's trying to buy something.
Oh, I thought Fox had the S flag. I really thought he had it.
Help for stuff.
Yeah,
like
no, I
in
think people
retail-
appreciate the human element, you know, that they're actually
Like,
leveling with you.
People have a bullshit detector when they're in retail. When they want their problem solved, they're not gonna fall for the, "Oh, we're just trying to help," and like the nice voice or whatever. It's like, "Yeah, this is fucked. This shouldn't have happened. I'll go see what I can do, but I can't promise anything." And they're like, "Oh, okay, someone who talks to me like I am not stupid," most of the time. Like, you gotta acknowledge that there is in fact something going on, and that yes, you're allowed to be pissed off, and you should be. I'm pissed off on your behalf. Let me see how I can fix that.
Yeah, no, I
Stuff like
think
that.
I think
It's
it definitely
always
is.
worked
It definitely is. I think people just I think that people have like just a sort of an innate feeling if someone's like being inauthentic in that specific way. Oh god, sudden death. Come on, mortgage lifter. Come on.
No, the winner is the current champion, Fury the Deer. The demon child that wins again.
I can drop a bowling ball on your skull. Hee hee. But yeah, it's actually the only retail job I ever worked, and it definitely had, I'll tell you the most stressful time though was, I was there for the Christmas Halo 2 came out.
Oh no.
That was a launch you would not believe. Holy crap. We had people, like, around the block to pick, to come get it, because this was way before digital distribution, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone and their dog had pre-ordered it.
Alright, now it's Deviant's Curse versus Adrian's Beans.
A thing I've always wondered, like with pre-orders and stuff, like you already have it pre-ordered, you're going to get it. Why are you pushing to wait in line for hours?
At midnight, no less.
Like, yeah, just like wait a few hours or a day at worst. Like, do something else and then go there where there isn't a trillion people and then just get the game. I mean, it's you have it. Literally, they're saving it up for you. Like, you're in no hurry. It's not gonna be gone if you don't show up like immediately.
Well, and part of the appeal for Halo 2 was that it had an early version of what would sort of become what we know as Xbox Live. It was sort of the first iteration of Xbox Live on the OG Xbox, and so it was possible for some people to play it online. And that was not, like, that was fairly new for consoles.
I see.
So I think that was probably part of the appeal, is people wanted to get in on it while the servers were hot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because that was definitely not the rule at the time. That was a fairly new feature for the OG Xbox.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've never. I think there was only like maybe 1 or 2 games that I played on the original Xbox at the time, and that I was borrowing that Xbox from a friend of ours. Was I think it was like, I'm trying to remember. It's not Star Ocean. It's another JRPG series that was on.
Might have been Phantasy Star. I think Phantasy Star was on there.
Right. Because I played Phantasy Star for like. It wasn't online, but I played Phantasy Star like a little bit, and I had a little bit of fun with it. But I couldn't wrap my head around. But after a while, I couldn't wrap my head around how the game was played. So I went on to do other things like Dragon Quest.
So a lot of people, the original the original Xbox, one of the main things that sold them was the original Halo. And definitely no shade on that. The original Halo is phenomenal. But the one that sold me an Xbox was actually Knights of the Old Republic. That was my favorite original Xbox game. It was a Star Wars RPG with like D&D mechanics, but like some real-time combat.
I've heard of that game.
Huh?
I've heard of it.
Oh yeah, it's really good. I have a mod you'd like. You can be Kitty.
Ooh.
Kitty. Julius Catus.
Well, more like a leopard kind of, or
Oh.
actually you could, depending on the mod skin, you can use. It comes with a few, but I think they're all
Why is it
wildcats pretty much.
Why is it never just a house cat? I just want to be house cat. House cats can be intimidating.
If you've owned a house cat, I think most people know that that is definitely a thing. They like. It's very funny that they can be just like very timid goobers, but can also just be like psychotic little shredding machines.
Yeah, I still remember like one cat who lived next to my aunt's house. Anytime that I would look down, like walk by their house, and I would see the cat. And the cat would have like a dead mouse right in front of it, and like standing proud in front of the dead mouse. So I'm like, yeah, look what I did.
we
Nice.
actually had worse. We had the cat we had when I was really little was named Tigger. She was a really good mouser. But the problem was, she would bring us like random mouse organs.
Oh, lovely.
Nice. Yeah, because she thought we were stupid and couldn't hunt, I think.
Yeah.
And hey,
Baby.
Adrian.
Baby.
The worst was though, she also hunted snakes, like sometimes.
Oh, nice.
Like little garter snakes, in particular.
I don't think I've ever seen my cats do that, but I know that they are able to.
Well, the thing was, she brought a snake onto our porch one time, and we came out, and we thought the snake was dead, but it turns out it was just kind of in shock, because as soon as she left, the snake like started freaking out and fell into our window well.
Oh boy.
So we had to help get it out.
Oh no.
It was a cute little snake. We all kind of felt bad.
By the way, I was looking on the Discord, going like Adrian Beans advances, and then Deviant goes, a worthy successor.
Successy.
Oh god.
As Adrian would say.
Yeah. That is something Adrian would say.
That is something Adrian would say. I'm sorry.
There's a kitty. There's a kitty
No,
for you.
oh yeah, there is some Incineroar, but I am sorry, but unfortunately we did not get the kitty version of the Nintendo stage.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
I just meant the Game Cobra.
Yeah. It's me versus Game Cobra, and I know who you're rooting for.
Oh, you're Roy this time. I spaced that. My bad.
Yeah.
Yep, he is Roy.
Roy's our boy. Roy was so good in Melee. I am not very good with him in Ultimate though. I don't know, like
That's
entirely
because
what changed. But
That's because Roy is. That's because the design they have for the combat style they have for Roy is basically a mirror of Ike from Ultimate,
Melee, I think.
yeah, Noit Brawl.
Oh yeah, or yeah, Brawl's whatever. Yeah, but it's just too bad because he was so good in Melee. I loved Roy in Melee.
Yeah. Yeah, and of course Incineroar got Victini. Because even legendaries go for kitties.
Pokemon's got to stick together.
Oh, God.
Don't Omnislur shit.
Kit Kat. So,
Yeah, I'll admit, Incineroar was not the
destroying
design. Incineroar was not where I thought they would take that evolution, but it's pretty cool in retrospect. I like Incineroar enough.
I'm a bigger fan of Meowscarada, though. Feels
Oh,
more
I love
house cat.
Meowscarada.
Feels
Love
more house cat, you know. And I am just a bit of a fan of house cats.
Just a little. I think overall design-wise, Liepard might be my favorite cat Pokemon.
What, no love? What, no love for Persian?
Persian's okay, but it's just like a cat with a gem in its forehead. Like, I don't know. Wasn't as much to...
Yeah, it always makes me...
Also not as
I
competitively
definitely
useful.
agree with people who are like, why do people get mad at current gen evolutions for being weird when most of the Gen 1 Pokemon were just very
Cat with
basic.
thing on head.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the thing. It's like they were always like people who were always, oh, the designs that have gotten so bad. I'm like, dude, they were always silly. They were just silly in a different way.
Yeah, that is what Pokemon is, silly designs at its core. I think there's a lot of people who complained that just now got into Pokemon, or like that aren't familiar with the older designs and stuff, and that complain for the sake of complaining.
That's a popular thing.
Complaining for the sake of complaining on the internet.
That is a popular pastime, to be sure. I still remember the whole Dexit controversy, which I admit I was a little annoyed with that myself, but I still think people reacted incredibly weirdly to that. Like,
Yeah,
really.
people overblew the severity of it.
Yeah.
So what?
Well, because Game Freak had said, they're like, okay, so maybe this game won't have like a full national Pokedex, but like we promise that all of your favorites will still be in future entries. We're going to be cycling them. So like, yeah, it sucks if you had like your favorites, but at the same time, I didn't think it was the catastrophe people seemed to
It really
make it out
was
to be.
not worth losing shit over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
because there's far more reasonable things to complain about, like the glitches and the complete terrible story and boring characters and everything else in those later titles.
hey,
Who was
if
it who-
it's not made with popsicle sticks
I
and
still can't
Elmer's
believe
glue.
Arcadius puts Sword and Shield as F tier. I just cannot fathom that.
It was an interesting choice. He had
I
interesting
just-
reasoning though.
I guess, but I just can't agree with any of it.
I think I don't know. This is going to be a weird take, but like I actually find within reason some of the glitches kind of charming because it's always felt like Game Freak games were made with popsicle sticks and Elmer's glue.
Yes, but it's not the glitches that even really bother me. It's just
Like,
I don't know.
but I know that's a weird take. I know it
enjoy
bugs a lot of
playing
people. It breaks immersion and all that.
Okay, I will say I did not hate it as much as some people do, but it is not S tier.
Oh,
I think-
oh wait, you were saying like he called. I
Sword
got
and
confused
Shield.
for a second. He called Sword and Shield S tier.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's his favorite. That's his favorite Pokemon game.
I'm guessing
And-
I'm guessing there might be some. I'm guessing there might be some nostalgia involved, and maybe something along that. Because
I remember he had some interesting reasoning because it wasn't what I expected, but but like, I mean, it wasn't. I didn't think it had some redeeming value for sure. Like, I actually kind of enjoyed the gym battles, the stadium fights with the,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
like I
had
said,
cool scenery and stuff, but it definitely had issues. I think the Dynamaxing was balance wise. It worked until they brought in the Gigantamaxing, then that wrecked it again.
Yeah.
But I think it was a less exciting gimmick than some. It was better than Z-Stones, I think, though.
Z-Stones. I hated Z-Stones. That was such a stupid thing.
I still think Mega Evolution's the best of their generational gimmicks, personally.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a huge fan of that either. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of really any of the gimmicks past 6.
yeah, it's past Black and White too.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's one of the
That's when they
reasons.
really started going ham with the gimmicks.
True.
Yeah. One of the introduction of more gimmicky stuff is one of the reasons why was one of the reasons why I ended up stopping before X and Y. Another reason was a more petty one, in that it was now completely ripping off Digimon.
Mega Evolution definitely was basically, yeah, that's true.
I never played Digimon, and I know jack shit about Digimon except for Renamon.
Well,
Renamon
it's
is
the only thing you know
only-
about Digimon. That's not the worst thing you could know. That's
Yeah.
And that's only because I've seen all the furry stuff.
hey, she's peaked for a reason. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It's a good design. I like
It is a
Rena.
good design.
Oh, and her English voice actress. Holy moly. Good stuff.
But Digimon are not divided by gender.
Yeah, that's true. That was an interesting thing because that raised the question of like, does that mean they're genderless or they just don't conceive of it in the same binary we do?
I don't think they conceive of it because there are Digimon that are just straight up like Angemon and Angiwoman.
Yeah. I just thought it was it was a super interesting take
Because
on it
it's all-
that they're just like, we don't
Because
think
it's
of
all
it the same
based
way.
on because the digital world in that case is supposed to be a combination of like the internet and children's dreams. Like
Yeah,
children's dreams and wishes. At least for the original version of it before Tamers.
Yeah, because
I personally like Tamers better, honestly.
because in Tamers it was more just it was a simulation thing that had kind of like gained its own like it had actually coalesced into actual
person-
intelligences and
A person,
artificial life.
Yeah, one of the person created a program with the means to develop artificial life on its own without human intervention.
Yeah, so just it used a process of evolution, like a similar to evolution, but in a simulated, environment.
Yeah. Which is which is basically like this code, and then that code created the diginomes, which then became the process for the creation of the digital world.
Yeah,
I see.
I agree. I think that Tamers had definitely a cool origin on it.
Oh no, Joker omni-slurged with the
Oh,
bullet
he
bill.
did. Oof.
And Luigi was able to protect against it because he activated his smash at that moment.
Yeah, that was incredibly well timed.
But yeah. And then of course there's the D Reaper, also known as the thing I laugh at anytime a child says, "Hey, I want to watch Digimon Tamers."
Yeah, because it's like the darkest thing Digimon ever did by far.
Yeah, because it's basically just straight up freaking psychological horror was the D Reaper. Now it's LP versus Dracar.
Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention. Who ended because of the conversation? Who ended up winning between Kitty and not Kitty?
Kitty.
Kitty.
I like that. That's how you broke the world down into Kitty and not Kitty.
And then after that, Tala beat Circle Pad.
Dang, that was a ruthless meteor smash.
And now it's a Pokemon battle between LP and Mewtwo.
That's
So
a funny little
the end of
creatures.
Pokemon Red.
So the interesting thing about that I thought was that also stood out about X and Y besides the Mega Evolution thing. I thought that was really kind of, and mostly this is just kind of funny to me, was the escalation of the villains in Pokemon. Like in the first game, it's like,
That's
oh yeah, we're the
true.
Pokemon Mafia. We're just gonna make money with Pokemon, and then in Gen 3, they're like, yeah, we're eco-terrorists. We're gonna use Pokemon to make the world better. Or
All
like
land- all land or all
or all
water.
sea. Yeah, and then you get to 4 where they're like, oh, we're gonna make our own universe because this one's corrupt. And then X and Y, it's like, oh, we're gonna convince people to free their Pokemon, so we're the only ones that have them. And then in Gen
That's
6, you get Lysander.
That's black and white.
I said the wrong name.
Oh, what did I say?
He said X and Y instead of black
Oh,
and
I meant
white.
black and white. Anyway, but then yeah, you get to X and Y, and Lysander's just like, no, I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kill everyone. That's what I'm gonna do. That sounds fun. Let's do that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, because I think they did a better job of it in the manga, at least where it made Lysander more threatening, because he had because he and Team Flare had his fingers on all parts of Kalos society, like the media, he had his fingers in all of it. Like,
Well, because his company had like the Holocaster, so they had like all communications traffics. They were like donating money to maintain Pokemon centers and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, he was definitely.
Yeah, in the manga. I don't know how big of a deal they made of it in the game.
Yeah, it was more peripheral. The game did not go into that as much, for sure.
Yeah, therefore they didn't make it look like Lysander is more of a threat than they could have been.
Well, because Team Flare itself was kind of a joke. Like, I like Lysander, but his team was really dumb. Just thematically, personally, I thought. Not that the teams have ever been, like, the epitome of, like, intimidating and mean.
Intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, I still remember Black and White being the more interesting one, because because Black and White is basically, was basically like PETA.
Yeah, because that Black and White did ask some interesting questions. Like, it does make you think about, like, exploitation, you know?
Yeah, but the problem is though is that they, like PETA, are actually very corrupt. because their entire purpose was to manipulate innocent people into doing something stupid, like donating money or abandoning their or freeing their animals, and and causing a bunch of dumb shit to happen. Like the best example I remember of
because N was fooled into. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, N was fooled into trying to get everyone to release their Pokemon as champion.
Yeah, because he was a true believer until he realized that. Oh wait, I'm being.
Oh, wow. Maybe my dad's kind of a dick.
Yeah. And his dad basically set up the circumstance to where the only Pokemon that N talked to were Pokemon that were abused.
Yeah. But it was a cool story, I thought. Like, it was way more story than most Pokemon games usually do. And N was certainly a fairly compelling.
Yeah, that's maybe
visual.
that's why everything else I played after Black and White felt so shallow. Because Black and White was one of my first Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Right?
I can see that.
I played Diamond and Black and White around the same time.
I can see
So
that.
to me, those are like peak Pokemon to me.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I think me, but I think that's the general.
Yeah,
consent.
Yeah, I guarantee you the focus for Pokemon is likely more on competitive play than anything resembling good storytelling.
My personal S tier is Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire or the original Ruby Sapphire Emerald. Those personally are my very favorite Pokemon games.
And I don't agree with you.
Black
at
and
all.
White the Black and White are a close second for sure.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is my favorite. Oh, they were about to go into sudden death, but Virtua Fighter knocked out Dracar in the end. So the winner is LP.
Dang. Literal last second.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and say this, and I'm pretty sure people are not fans of it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. My favorite is actually Crystal.
Crystal? I haven't played that one.
You
much.
could definitely do worse than Crystal.
I don't have an opinion on that because I haven't really played the Johto games.
I think the remakes were a little bit better, just in terms of, like, I think the quality of life made it smoother. But
yeah, if I'm talking about Crystal specific. Like, if I was to state it specifically on the context of like proper, like, good gameplay, then Heart Gold and Soul Silver blows Crystal completely out of the water. But my liking Crystal is strictly from a from a personal taste perspective.
And that's always valid. Like it's you don't have to, even if there are some things you can acknowledge, or like, oh yeah, this was inferior or superior, like even if you can be like objective, like if it felt good, right?
Yeah.
Like that's sometimes Jigglypuff. What?
They're just vibing.
Adrian just took a minute. No, but that's the thing. Like, if a game gives you good vibes, that's perfectly valid reason to favor it.
Yeah, and I think, by the way, I am gonna go ahead and tell this story regarding one of the Pokemon games that I played all the way to the end, Pokemon Gold, because a long time ago, I bought that. A long time ago, me and my mom bought that for, I believe, my birthday, and I played it a lot. And, and I was talking about it to hey, I got this cool game, want to see? And I was talking about it to everybody, and then my mom just basically went, okay, yeah, you talking about this to everybody? We're gonna put your name on it, so in case something happens to it. And I was like, okay, put my name on it. Didn't really help much. Because not probably a year or two later, one of my mom's friends' former friends broke into our house and stole a ton of stuff.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
jeez.
Oh.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, one of the things that disappeared was Pokemon Gold.
Oh, what a crap thing to do.
And then on top of that, you wanted to hear something? Want to hear a bonus take regarding that? Of course, we called the police, and my mom informed me of this after the fact because I had no way of knowing. The police actually had floated the idea of, like, well, maybe your kid stole the stuff.
Oh, seriously? Jeez.
And I'm like, that is so dumb. Saying like, but of course they decided, but then of course finally taking the opportunity to tell them how stupid that sounds, they took the investigation seriously.
Because the problem is that law enforcement isn't just usually not, they're not usually super helpful with petty theft. It's just not a thing they can usually do a ton about.
Yeah.
Unless
Yeah,
it's like, unless they steal something particularly valuable. It's just, and it sucks. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that's how it should be, but that is unfortunately how it often is.
Okay, yeah, so, yeah, I was gonna say, and the problem is, though, and I'm gonna make this very clear when it comes to police, not a lot of them are actually, like, I have the oddest of feelings when it comes to the police force. They're not actually properly trained in colleges for anything regarding this. They mostly just bring in, like military or college dropouts.
The police academy doesn't do as much investigation as you would think. Like investigation is definitely a thing that is not like a part of their core curriculum, from what I understand.
It's a bit of a crapshoot.
Oh, Adrian, you didn't do it. That was a rough one for you, Adrian.
Yeah, the beans have been bapped, sadly.
Semifinals.
So we're in semifinals of Phase 1. It's now Game Cobra versus Tala. And looks like it's Persona 5.
You want to know a really sad theft story? My best friend, he had the old RPG Maker, like the RPG Maker, like 2003.
Oh yeah.
I think, and he had a game that he'd been making since like we were both in like late high school. Because I'm a little older than him, so I graduated before he did. So it was either last year there or his first year out. I can't remember precisely, but he had a game he was working on that was really silly but very funny, and it wasn't like complete. It wasn't like I wouldn't say that it was ever going to be a game that like you would ever see released like to markets, but it had a lot of emotional significance to our friend group because it was just something that he was really passionate about and that he put a little bit of our just sort of collective personalities into. And when his house got broken into, they stole the laptop it was on and the backup drive that had the game on it. So he lost all of it. And he just never could, and he didn't want to recreate it because it was just too painful to have lost all of it. Years of work, you know?
I don't blame him.
Yeah, that sucked. We were all very, very upset.
Yeah. But
because
on a
he
lighter
worked so
note,
hard on
Cat Bus.
it.
It's
On Kitty win.
Kitty on screen, and then there's a cat bus in the background.
I like the cat bus.
In Persona 5, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there he goes. He's wrestling. Wrestles him so hard he causes an atomic explosion.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I still remember Mona talking about when Mona does the transformation. First of all, let me make this very clear for the sake of Brave. The transformation that Mona does in order to become the cat bus is the I think Kamen Rider Black transformation.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Or it's some kind of Kamen Rider transformation. But also it is
Oh, kitty.
and then also he specifically says like, yeah, the cognition about cats turning into vehicles is a surprisingly common one. And
Don't say.
you can pretty much guess why.
Oh, hang on. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back.
You want to know? Do you all want to know why?
Carry on. Sorry.
Sure. Go ahead.
My Neighbor Totoro
Oh, yeah.
from Studio Ghibli, because
Makes
it's
sense.
because it's an extremely popular old animated film from.
Yeah, I know.
Japan.
I know it. I know it.
Yeah, well, I still need to state it for the folks at home. By the way, hi Finnegan. Oh no, there was explosion there.
Sorry about that. I thought Teddy stole something, but it's his. I love watching this dog, but he's when I'm doing stuff like games and stuff, I have to be careful because it only takes a second for him to find something he's not supposed to have.
It's not. Yeah. Cats the same way. They like
Luckily-
fighting on stuff.
Well, luckily, my
Anything
sister's coming
remotely-
any minute now, so she'll be able to take care of it. She's got
Anything
him.
remotely string-like, they'll, do the cat thing too.
Yeah. No, but Teddy can.
Beware.
Because they're cats. That's what cats do. They do silly stuff.
Luigi goes on to the finals of Phase 1.
No kitty. Sadness.
Don't worry, you'll still have Phase 2.
Yeah. Oh, what time is it? Okay, it's 4. I don't want to miss the trailers and info from the 14 stuff gonna happen today.
Oh, you have,
They're revealing info about the new expansion, like the full everything, and they're gonna give us info about the new, hopefully Anthro race. Well, not new. They're gonna reveal the female version of it.
Yeah, they look interesting. The Hrothgar.
Yeah, they're finally gonna add the females.
okay, the Hrothgar, also known as hashtag not the Ronzo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're basically just the Ronzo.
You know, they Are they doing any new
I mean,
classes?
a franchise can copy itself.
I know.
Final
Friggin-
Fantasy does reiterates itself a lot, but
Yeah.
like sometimes it's all a little different though. Like case in point, the many variations of carbuncles.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I have to use the bathroom.
Do you know if they're doing any new jobs?
Yeah,
With the
they're
expansion?
doing 2 new jobs.
Cool.
2 new jobs. The Viper, which is like a dual wielding class. And then we don't know what the second job will be until 3 hours from now
Okay, cool.
when they reveal it.
I'm interested. I'm glad it's thriving
It's-
so well.
I'm-
I really like. It's really. It seems to be Square's kind of flagship at the moment.
Yeah, because it's the only thing that it and 16 and 7R are like the only things that are really not flopping right now.
Yeah, Square's eating it hard on a
Yeah.
few of their releases for sure.
Yeah.
Although some of their not indie, but smaller stuff was doing well. I think Octopath Traveler did fairly well,
Yeah.
but it's a
16
smaller
did
release.
well, but they only released it on PlayStation, which will inevitably damage sales.
That's why I'm
They need to-
furious.
They need to just release it on PC, man.
They're
most
doing
of-
the same thing I found out with Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2. It is
Yeah.
they've got a 6-month exclusivity contract with Sony.
They need to just get like you'll probably double at least your sales if you include PC, right? Because most people who play Final Fantasy, I feel, playing PC these days.
Well,
Like, sure,
most
there are
people-
console players. Well, in the
They're-
US at least, I think the reason they do this is because Japan has a much higher emphasis on consoles than the US does,
That's probably true, yeah.
and
would track.
they inevitably are going to care more about their Japanese audience because they're a Japanese company.
It's also the fact that Sony does this all the time. They are trying to always contract trap exclusivity, and
Yeah.
now this is just going to be me because I don't like Sony. I'll admit, like owning up to my bias out in front. I don't like Sony. I think they're bad for the industry because they fight things like crossplay. Like Nintendo and Microsoft will enable crossplay on some of their stuff. Like they're fine cooperating, so people can play with their friends on whatever devices they have. But Sony will not do it. They will not do crossplay. The only reason you can play stuff with people on Sony is if the companies that make the game themselves do independent, servers and stuff. So that's the problem. But it's also
Sony
the
is
fact that
annoying.
exclusivity, I honestly think, is the only reason Sony has a market. I don't think their console stands up on its own outside of exclusivity, and maybe PlayStation VR is a niche. But like PC, I feel that the PlayStation 5 doesn't offer a lot that the PC doesn't.
The PlayStation?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I don't think it offers that much either.
I do think it has. It's not to say it's not an impressive machine. It is. And I think that this. But I think that Microsoft is more honest about. Microsoft treats the Xbox Series X as just like a light gaming PC. With like extra media features. Rather than like a separate ecosystem, you know?
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of times with the Xbox, they have a thing where if you buy games that are on the PC and the Xbox, you can port them one to the other at will on your account. So I think they treat it but like Sony seems to treat it as, damn it, they can't stop this stupid villager.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
So I mean,
And I
it's,
have no love for Sony, as I never had their consoles, and they seem to only be annoying me with their exclusivity contracts, which prevent me from playing 16 until I either buy a PS5, which no, or or wait for the release. And I kind of wish Square would just abandon Sony, honestly, but probably some contract reason they can't.
well, Sony's been a good partner for them in some years past, so I guess maybe that runs deep. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. But
Okay,
it is
come on, Tala. But yeah, I know, but I do think exclusivity is a really scummy way
Don't cooperate
to.
with Square.
I do think it's a really scummy way to try and have market relevance.
Yeah.
Because they'll try to get like indie studios too. They'll be like, oh yeah, we'll give you all these packages and like this free marketing and all these like bonus stuff if you just make it a Sony exclusive. So they really do try to just eat up as much as they can. And I know that's like that probably makes like some degree of business sense. It's not like they're the only company that does that sort of thing, but it seems like they do it in extremis.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Even though it would be a lot better for them if they just made deals with other companies to have like games of theirs have like internet access. You know what I mean? Or cross-platform.
Yeah. And it's and it's like Nintendo also has a lot of exclusivity, but that's different because a lot of their stuff because they're also like a first-party manufacturer of the games themselves. So I know that's slightly different. But oh no, Waluigi, come and stomp him, regular Luigi. But I just think Sony does it in a particularly egregious way that I don't think is good for the industry, in my opinion, personally. But I don't know.
No, I agree. It's frustrating.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to wait 6 months to play Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, even though I'm gonzo for that game.
Yeah,
Like, I'll admit to this is not my finest hour. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't ridiculously on sale, but back when Final Fantasy Remake came out, I actually did buy a used, like, small hard drive PS4. And it ended up being a really, really bad purchase because I think it was Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last of Us, and Uncharted are like the only things I ended up playing on it that weren't better elsewhere or more accessible elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It ended up not being the most brilliant financial decision of my life.
I see.
But I do love Final Fantasy VII that much, so I was willing to give it a risk.
I need to finish 6 so I can just get into it. Because while I have enjoyed 6, I feel like I'm sort of just at the point where I'm just kind of wandering around aimlessly because I've done those things.
Tell me how you like the Kefka fight, because I think it's one of the coolest designed boss fights ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's fun, at least. Although he doesn't mess around.
I
So.
have some ideas of it.
Well, because I have seen some footage from 14's version of Kefka, because I was listening to the soundtrack version of it, and it is kind of similar, but it is. So yeah, you probably do have.
Yeah,
The
I'll
general
make sense
gist.
that it'd be similar since they were trying to recreate it to the best of their ability.
I just think it's really cool that they do like a whole divine comedy like tableau.
Mhm.
6 is a weird Final Fantasy game because it's really, really, really good story-wise, but I feel it took a huge step back combat-wise, like mechanic-wise.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem for it is I haven't really enjoyed the combat. Especially after 5, which had such good combat.
Oh, you missed with the house, loser.
I was gonna say what is the difference between 5 and 6? Because I don't think I've played 5.
Job system.
Job system, yeah.
Yeah, 5's got a lot more
Right.
customizability. Your characters aren't locked into their roles nearly as much.
Yeah. Which, as a 14 person, I am a big fan of what 5 did. Because 5 sort of laid the groundwork for a lot of what 14 does gameplay-wise.
Well, and 6 has characters that are frankly just useless or like just ridiculously powerful.
6 has
like
too much characters, has too many characters, many of which are, yeah, as you say, not that useful.
and it's too bad because like fluff-wise they're pretty fun, but like some of them
I
just
feel like
don't
the
get
first
much use out
characters
of.
you get are the best. Like a lot of the first ones you get, like Terra especially, is really,
Oh, Terra's
really good.
yeah, Terra's god tier for
Like
sure.
she is my damage dealer. Like she does the most. Her and the monk. What's it? Sabin?
Sabin, yeah.
Sabin and Edgar are my 3 main damage dealers, and you get them at the very start of the game.
Celeste
they
gets
do-
pretty darn good too.
That's the other character I use, funnily enough.
Yeah. And I like Mog. I don't care like meta-wise. I love Mog.
Mhm.
Oh, it did
I
it!
haven't used
Yes!
Mog. I haven't actually. That's one thing. I don't know where to get Mog.
The
Mog's a
demon child
secret.
is vanquished.
Yes. I'm a Luigi. I'm a kill the demon child.
Do you hear what I said? I don't I haven't found where Mog is.
Yeah, he's a secret character. He's not one he's one you have to go out of your way to
Oh.
get.
I don't know if I want to do that then, because I already have enough characters.
Sort of like Go-Go.
And the problem is it takes so long, like, especially, what's his name? The kid? Gao, I think?
Oh yeah. The wild
so-
wild boy.
Like, that's probably, like, I think he's still level 14, because I got him, tried using him, but he wasn't that useful, and then he's still sitting in the ship. Just
Ooh, they're using the brawl theme.
we kind of just adopted the child and let him.
We shall
Let him
come with
vibe.
us, wild child. We shall take care of you.
If you excuse us, everyone, we'll take a quick break while we set up for Phase 2. Congratulations, Tala Grofon, for being champion of Phase 1. We'll
My
see
hero.
you all next time. And YouTube, we'll see you. And YouTube, we'll see you on Sunday. For those watching, stick around.
Ooh.